Hi guys, it's Kristi. Okay, so we are working on a very basic beginner journal. We've got a file folder cover. We've taken some scrapbook paper and cut it 8.5 by 11, then cut it in half at 5.5. Matted that here and here, and done the same thing on the inside. We've got a piece of micropore medical tape that we've run down the center to give it a little bit of extra stability, and then we run a piece of lace across that. We're going to run a piece of lace over this after we sew in the pages, and I've distressed the edges a little bit, some places more than others, but I want to put some pockets today. So I have these postcards, and these are free domain postcards. So I will post them. Actually, you know what? I want to cut a little. Do I want to cut a notch? No, I'm not going to. I'm going to round the corners of these at the top. Excuse me. You don't have to do this. You don't have to have a puncher to round the corners, but I like the way it looks when it's on there. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Was I saying I'm going to upload these to the file section on my Facebook group? And if you are not a member of the Facebook group, we can actually have conversation there back and forth, better than in the comments sections of the videos. And so if you'd like to join our group, we'd love to have you. The link is in the description box below. So you will have to be asked to join because it is a private group. Keep the spammers out. So I am just inking around the edges of these. And these are just vintage postcards that have been scanned and uploaded. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there's lots of places you can get free domain type images. Be careful, make sure they're free domain, because not everything that says it's free is. And you can usually trust the Graphics Fairy. I get a lot of stuff from them. Pixabay has some things, you got to be careful there. Pinterest, not everything on Pinterest is free domain. You can go to the New York Public Library, they have a free collection. I know the Metropolitan Museum has a free collection, and I think the Smithsonian, I heard, just added a free collection. So just look around, you'll be surprised what you can find. But I'm going to glue these down. And this will give me a front and back pocket, which I like to have because I'm not really a writer all the time, but I do like to tuck things in here and there, and it's nice to, when you don't have time, to be able to just tuck things in these front pockets until you get them to where you want them to be. Okay. And you could just use a coin and to make the rounded corners if you wanted to. If you don't have a corner punch, or leave them square. Does not matter. So there we go. Okay. Nice. Okay, so let's talk about picking out papers. When I'm doing a one signature journal, I usually like it to have about 12 to 15 pages. Basically 15 usually is what I shoot for, because it's a nice thickness, and by the time I add more pockets and tucks and belly bands and things like that, it's a nice chunky size, but not overly so. If you saw the last journal I did, you know I can I have a hard time stopping, and so they get kind of chunky sometimes. So I have a formula, and my formula is 5 designer papers. That can be scrapbook papers, that can be digital kit, that can be whatever you want it to be. And you don't have to do it the way I do it. This is just my basic formula, but I will do the 5 scrapbook paper. Then I will do 5 coffee dyed papers, and then I will do 5 miscellaneous whatever, and that will be usually graph paper, a dictionary page, a ledger sheet, and then a large and small envelope, and those are my miscellaneous 5. So that's what I'm going to use for this one. I do know I already want to choose this one, so let's see what else is in here. Some of these I've pulled out and put back in here so they're a little bit loose. So this is a really nice collection. I think I'm going to take this one. It's very similar to the cover with the shoes. So that's 2. And I know I want to do, that one has shoes on it too. They're all the same vintage color line here, and I'm liking that. Very monochromatic. Somebody had asked about making neutral, I think it was you, Janet. Hi, Janet. Asking about making neutral ephemera, and you know, it never really occurred to me, but a lot of times, you know, if you do things in the same color palette, they're gonna go together. So you need to find your you know, your place. Now that doesn't mean you're stuck there. You can go outside of that anytime you want, and I do. I try to, but a lot of things that I make are this same kind of grungy brown aged color. And so if I chose this from this collection or another collection, they're still going to match. Well, I don't like the word match because it's not matchy-matchy. They coordinate. Let's use that word. But yeah, so if you have a tendency to work in the same colorways, you know, that's perfect for and this, you know, happens to be a monochromatic colorway, I guess, that I'm using today. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more. And as far as a neutral, excuse me, a neutral colorway would be, I would think, if you like the vintage look, the book pages would be a great way to make neutral ephemera. Patricia Veramontes, she does a lot of book page ephemera. I believe it's the Pam at the Paper Outpost. She has a whole series of book page ephemera. Just look online, or I'm sorry, on YouTube, wherever, and look for neutral ephemera or book page ephemera, monochromatic, things like that. And you'll be surprised what you'll find out there. There's a lot of people out there using up book pages. And now if you, you know, and it doesn't have to matchy match. If it's in the same area, you know, then we're good. You see, this isn't the same, but it's okay, because you know, there's creams here and there's creams here, and they're also not going to be laying on top of each other like this. So The one thing that I do like about, well, junk journaling, if you use that term, is that the idea is that it doesn't have to coordinate. Which is fun because you can just pretty much throw anything in there and make it work. So, all right, so this one doesn't have a direction. Let's cut these into 8.5 by 11. Oh, it does have a direction, so let's see. Let's make sure it's the right way around. Sometimes hard to tell. Okay, it goes this way. So we're gonna cut off 1 inch on this side. And make this 8.5. Because, excuse me, our pages are going to be 8.5 by 11, folded in half, and that'll fit perfectly inside our cover. Keep the offcuts. Like I said, we'll be using those for all the tags. And that's another way that you can make everything coordinate. Alright, this is the right way up. So 1 inch off this way, and make this 8.5. I think my cutter is starting to, the blade seems to be going kind of squirrely. I don't know if I'm pushing too hard. That one wasn't too bad. I noticed it on the cover. It was a... now which part do I want to cut off? Do I want to leave the shoes? I think I want to leave the shoes, so I'm going to take it this way. Although I want those butterflies. Am I going to get those in there? I'd rather have the butterflies and just a couple of shoes. So we'll go this way. And we'll have these for another tag or something, envelope, whatever. Alright. I don't want to cut that clock, so I'm going to cut off this end. I'm using the 1 inch measure on this side, in case you're wondering why it... Okay. So now I want to keep the bottom, so I'll make that 8.5. And you know, just take your time. Don't be in a hurry because you know, you might as well enjoy it. The reason I do this is because I enjoy it, and if I have noticed when I try to get in a hurry, I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm trying to just do things that I love and that inspire me. And I'll tell you what I saw today that inspired me. I can't remember who did the video, but it's on freeze in the other room still because I haven't finished watching the video. Had to take a phone call, answer the door, do a video, you know, miscellaneous stuff. But I was looking at transfers, using transfers in junk journals, and that is interesting to me. So that's something I might want to try in the near future. So, okay, I want to make sure these are all going the same direction. And they are. Okay, so 5 designer pages, cut-offs over here. I'll be using those again. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention that when I start a journal, generally I have a color palette in mind. I have a theme in mind. The theme of this one is basically the paper collection that I use, but I'll pull out things that I want to use with it. I've pulled out some seam binding, I've pulled out some brown grosgrain ribbon, I've pulled out a few other pieces of trim, lace, things that I want to use in the journal, and these beautiful brown buttons that my husband bought for me at Walmart because he needed to sew one button on a pair of khakis, and or maybe it was black. I think there was black buttons in here. And he's so self-sufficient, he sews his own button back on. So, but he gave me the buttons, so yay me. All right, so let's look at some color dye, or coffee dyed. paper. Now I have these magazine boxes that I get from Dollar Tree. That's what I keep my coffee dyed paper in. And so I want 5 coffee dyed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these don't have any patterns or anything on them, because this is when I was doing that big batch the other day, and I just did a whole bunch and I didn't use the lace. So 5 coffee dyed, 5 designer. Now I need 5 miscellaneous. So what did I say? I want a piece of ledger and a piece of graph paper. I think instead of dictionary, maybe I'll use one of these. This is a coloring book, one of those adult coloring books that somebody, I think my sister gave me this for Christmas. So I coffee dyed these, and I think these would be fun. Let's see if there's one in here that would be interesting. Something that doesn't look so contemporary. That's kind of cool. Well, maybe not, but these are kind of cool. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Let's use this paper. Well, that one's good too. I like that one with the butterflies. Let's use that one. So, you know, think of things that you wouldn't normally use. I mean, you got to think of things, I guess, differently than you normally would. If you see something and you like it, why do you like it? And take a look at it. So, you never know what you're going to come up with. Okay, so now I need a couple of envelopes. Let's do I did some envelopes. I'm sorry, guys. I did these envelopes, these blue ones, and it colored everything. It dyed everything blue that I had on or around it. So I have a whole stack. I think I'm going to maybe make these into some envelope journals, because I haven't used them yet. The ones with the black inside don't run. Excuse me. Okay, so now we've got an envelope. Now you can put this in your signature a couple of ways. I'm going to fold this in half. Sometimes I will just tuck this in and use this for a pocket that way, which I think I will do today. On the last journal, I had this on the outside and I had it upside down. So then you have a little tuck here, and then I cut off the ends and used those as pockets on that side. But I think this time I'm just going to tuck these inside. I'll glue this down, and that will go inside. That will be one. This one will be very similar. These are sewn right into the signature. And the signature is a fancy word for all the pages that you're putting together. Each piece of paper that you fold in half is called a folio. A group of those together becomes a signature. And if I remember correctly, I was yearbook editor back in college. I want to say there were 16 pages that fit on one large sheet that they would print, and then they would cut it after they folded it when they did our yearbook. Okay, so this will be sideways. Do I want to straighten up that edge? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to fold this in half, because we're on a little grungy side here. So I'm just going to fold that in half. Your pages do not need to be the same size. Some of these have perforation on them, but I think this one's okay. In fact, another thing that inspired me the other day that I saw that I want to try, add it to my list of all the things I want to try, was an envelope journal made from 6 envelopes that were all different sizes. And that sounded, it looked really cool with all the different sizes, and I want to try one of those. I have 3 sizes of envelopes, but I don't think I have 6. But those were made out of like junk mail envelopes that you get. So I'm going to be watching my my junk mail for those envelopes, the ones you get from the utility company or whatever. So now we're just going to fold these in half. And in case you happen to have a scoreboard, there's a faster way. I just learned this. See, I've been paper crafting for 20 plus years, and I just learned this the other day. You can use your Martha Stewart scoreboard, or if you have one that has the lip here, or something else that has a lip, and just fold that over just like that. And then you don't have to worry about the pages being lined up because they're all going up against the edge. A little bit faster. Now, you want to choose one of these for the center. So I think I'm going to choose this one for the center, or this one. Yeah, I want this one. So this one I'm going to fold with the white side out. Like that. That will be our center, and then the rest of these will be folded white side in. And normally, excuse me, I don't know what is, it's got to be the allergies again bugging me. It kind of comes and goes. We've had some wind and some rain. It rained a little bit ago. Now the sun's back out again, thank goodness, because I have a hard time getting good light when it's cloudy. Anyway, so let's start with the center and work our way out. Also, one of those miscellaneous 5 could be, we used these 3 plus the envelopes, but you could also use doilies. You could use dictionary pages. You could use a magazine calendar page, other book pages, a garden book page, all kinds of things. This is just one way. So, you know, I'm always saying, ooh, I can use that. I got a beautiful calendar, farmhouse style calendar for Christmas, and I can't wait for the calendar to be finished being used so I can cut it up and make journals with it. Yeah, I'm sick. Okay, so let's start with the center one, and then I usually will take one of the small, let's do the small envelope here, and then we'll take a coffee dyed one, and let's take this one, or also music sheet. That's another one that you can use. So I've got designer miscellaneous coffee, designer miscellaneous coffee, designer miscellaneous. I think I want the holes at the top. Coffee. Designer. This time I'm going to have this miscellaneous and this miscellaneous and coffee, and this will be the outside of the signature. So I have one more coffee dyed paper left, and I think I will put that here. Oh, let's see, I have one there. Where do I want it then? Let's do, yeah, let's just do it here, so we'll have an extra one. We are going to decorate them all up so it won't be noticeable. And you will notice that some of it kind of hangs over a little bit as you get toward the center, because you have the folds don't go all the way to the edge. So you've got almost 1/4 of an inch overage here. But that's why we made our cover the size we did, because that will accommodate that. Okay? So there we have our pockets, we have our pages, we have our miscellaneous things inside, and then we're going to start decorating. Now, sometimes I'll sew the journal in now, or the pages, and sometimes I won't. If I'm going to do sewing, I'll go ahead and sew things on now. It is easier to glue lace on the designer pages while they're not attached. So what I will do today, I'll show you that real quick. We'll put lace on a couple pages. I'll just pull these out, and normally I would just tack these down with, if you want to sew them, I tack them down with glue stick. I use this Oohoo stick. I have a Walgreens brand at my sewing machine that I use for paper piecing when I'm quilting, and I actually love that. It's a nice big fat stick. It's not blue, it's white, but it's stickier, and I think I might go back and buy some more of that. But anyway, I'm going to add just some lace trim just to the designer pages. Oh, but what I was going to say is I'll tack it down with the glue stick and then sew it on, because if you just try to sew it, it has a tendency to slide while you're sewing. Learn from experience on that one, because I tried to wing it. Now I'm going to let this hang over. I'm going to use this little motif here to guide me. And then I will trim this off. Beware of the medical tape. This stuff is sticky, and it will make your scissors sticky. So if you have Teflon scissors, that will be better. So I am going to do it on both sides, and I will do it inside the middle center page. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be right back and show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so here we are. We have, I've put lace on the first designer page, on the third designer page, and on the center page. Okay, now because of the way that it kind of goes out, there's two things you can do. You can see that that's not noticeable now, and that's because I've done two things. On this first page, I've gone over maybe what, 1/8 of an inch, to 3/16 of an inch there, and then on the next one, I only went out just a little tiny bit, maybe, I don't know, a little less than 1/8 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, something like that. And then on the center one, I did it right along the edge of the paper. And what that does is it keeps it from being so noticeable that the pages are, I don't know what that term is called, but uneven, because the middle ones are coming out like that. If it bothers you a lot and you don't want to put lace, you can always, you know, before you sew them in, you can take it like that, put a ruler on it, and trim them down so that they're all even. I've never done that because I don't have time. and it doesn't bother me if I can fix it with the lace. And even when I don't put the lace, the pages being different sizes or different edges, it doesn't bother me at all. So we have our cover. We will come back to the cover at the end, but while I'm working on a journal, I don't finish the cover until the end because I don't want to be messing with it so much that I'm, you know, knocking things off. And when it all comes together, then I'll also pretty much be able to figure out what I want to do. So tomorrow we'll sew in the signatures and start decorating the pages. So this will be really cute. I'm looking forward to this one. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.